Magandang gabi sa inyo lahat. Welcome to your podcast na mga naniniwala sa basketball, ng totoong basketball. This is the Round Ball. Sorry guys, ngayon lang ako post ng second part. Actually, dapat 3 parts pero nagsimula na kasi ang NBA regular season. So, I would rather to put in 2 parts na lang. Kasi we want to talk about the rest of the division ng Western Conference, which is the Northwest and the Southwest. And lastly, you have the Eastern Conference teams. And then, syempre, I want to talk about the other topic will be Wemby and Chet Holmgren. Gusto ko na sabihin kasi na ang ganda ng umpisa ng unang linggo ng NBA regular season. Kasi dyan mo makikita that these teams, they're trying to impress us. Some of them, medyo disappointing yung season. Hindi naman disappointing. Disappointing yung start nila. So, yun yung gusto kong sabihin. And also, if you're talking about the NBA itself, well, it is back. And syempre, magkaroon muna tayo ng updates sa NBA. Excuse me po. Now, syempre, kumusta na ba? Kumusta na bang NBA regular season? Sobrang excited. Kasi dito mo makikita na those 30 teams, they're ready for war. Lalo na, ang maganda dito sa season na to, as I've said the last time, na meron tayong in-season tournament. For, parang ano lang yan may cash, that is the price. Excuse me po. Excuse me. Kasi if you're talking about what happened in the NBA right now is, well, all of the teams start performing very well. And about Western Conference, na pag-usapan na natin last time is the Pacific Division. So let's have to talk about the Northwest and the Southwest Division. Actually, first, I want to talk about the Southwest Division. Kasi syempre, unang-una sa listahan on my list will be the Dallas Mavericks. Well, the Dallas Mavericks have now started their season 2-0. And those 2 games are close fights. First game, they won against San Antonio, 126-119, on a triple-double by Luka Doncic. 33 points, 14 rebounds, 10 assists. And then, in the second game, it is a close fight in which Luka hit the game-winning 3. And they won over the Brooklyn Nets, 125-120. Pero isipin mo, Luka had 49 points, 10 rebounds, and 7 assists. Now, I will say, this Dallas team, syempre, alam mo, meron isang player na medyo hinahangaan ko. And that is the rookie, Derek Lively II. Isipin mo, medyo i-outplayed Victor Wembanyama in his debut. He had 16 points and 10 rebounds. And then the second one in the starting position. First starting position in his career at in the NBA, he had 9 points. But I will say this, Dallas, if mag-gel maigi itong si Kyrie Irving and then si Luka Doncic, that will be interesting. Kumbaga, it's a matter of tingnan natin kung kakayanin nila kung tutuusin. Okay, syempre maglagay tayo muna ng invites. Sa totoo lang, if you're talking about the league itself, sorry kung nawala ko, Dallas, for me, am I seeing na pwede silang mag-playoffs? Well, it will depend on the tandem of Kyrie and Luka. Kasi minsan, remember last season, hindi sila nakapasok ng playoffs ha. Hindi sila nakapasok ha. Kinapos. Kaya yun nga masasabi ko, if you will ask me, I'm hoping, I am hoping na, pero sorry, if you will ask me, play-in tournament tong Dallas Mavericks. Yun yung nakikita ko. Kasi hindi ko alam, hindi ako tiwala sa gel up ni Luka sa ni Kyrie. Unless Kyrie will do something. Diba? To impress. Diba? Now, how about the Houston Rockets? Well, Houston started the season 0-3. Sabi raw, most surprise team daw in the NBA. Ako, naniwala ako doon. Pero alam mo, Houston, the problem for them is, nandun pa rin yung inexperience nila. With Jalen Green, Alperen Sengun, Jabari Smith, and then yung pagpasok ni na Amen Thompson. Pero, ang maganda dito, you have veteran presence right now with Jeff Green, Dillon Brooks, and Fred VanVleet. Pero yun nga lang, the problem for Houston is that hindi pa nila ganun kagamay, hindi pa ganun kagamay maigi how to play as a team, lalo na under the head coach, under the coaching of Ime Udoka. So, pero nakikita ko Houston, my prediction kung sa buong season, wala, eliminated to for sure. Memphis ito medyo hindi na ako nababahala. They got Marcus Smart. The problem is walang Ja Morant. At dahil walang Ja Morant na nag-electrify sa team, their record is 0-3. Pero tikit yung laban na yun puro tikit the games. Pero yun nga, kasi, isipin mo, their first meeting, kung ako nagkakamali, Memphis lost to, I need to remember whose team. New Orleans yung kanilang first team na tumalas sa kanila. The second one is Denver by 4 points. And then you have Washington on the road losing by only just 7. Ngayon, kasi if you're talking about Memphis, iba na talaga pag may Ja Morant. Now, they have Marcus Smart. Pero makikita natin siguro, ang prediction ko for Memphis, I will go for number 6. Kasi nakikita ko for them na medyo pag binalik lang si Ja Morant after 25 games, magiging interesado ang laban ng Memphis dito going to the playoffs. Pero medyo magiging dikitan talaga lahat yan sa Western Conference. Pag-usapan natin yung New Orleans Pelicans. Well, isa lang naman ang concern natin dito walang iba kundi si Zion Williamson. Siyempre, as I've said, they are now 2-0. Pero yun nga, ang iisipin ko, sana mahaba pa ang ilalaro ni Williamson. Kasi sayang yung potential niya bilang isang extra na magalas tumalon, sabi natin, mataas na potential na player. Sayang kung may injured na naman ulit siya. Pero if you're talking about the Pelicans, having Zion Williamson is special. They can be one of the best teams in the Western Conference. But pag walang Williamson, sorry, kalimutan na natin ang New Orleans. Pero sa nakikita ko for them, play-in tournament sila. Play-in. Yun yung nakikita ko for the New Orleans Pelicans. And last but not least, we will talk about the San Antonio Spurs. Well, the San Antonio Spurs kasi, syempre, year 1 of Wembanyama era is there. And their record is 1 win and 2 losses. And their only win is against the Houston Rockets pa in overtime. Well, it's a battle of young teams kasi. Pero mas lamang ang Spurs because they have the Wemby effect. Pero if you will compare kasi, ito lang they lost a close game against Dallas and then the other one earlier, wala. It's just only a dominance by the LA Clippers. Yun lang masasabi ko. So, mamaya sasabihin ko regarding kay Wembanyama kasi mahaba-haba to. O sige, punta tayo ng Northwest. Unahin natin sa listahan ang Minnesota Timberwolves. Minnesota, their record right now is 1-1. Siyempre, umpisa pa lang ng season nila. They lost to Toronto by 3 and then they beat the Eastern Conference champions Miami Heat by 17 points thanks to Naz Reid. Siguro for me, the X factor for this one is Naz Reid kasi I want to see if ito lang kasi, Naz Reid is a good offensive player. Hindi naman siya gaanong defender pero offensive-wise, he has a 3-point shot. He can post up. Kahapon, he had 25 points, a season high. Pero I will say, Karl Anthony Towns must step up. Kung anong ginawa niya sa FIBA World Cup, that will be big time. And also, Anthony Edwards, kung ano yung ginawa niya doon sa World Cup, yun din ang ipapakita niya with the Minnesota Timberwolves. And I'm very excited for this. Pero nakikita ko, they are number 7 in the Western Conference. Okay, next top, the Oklahoma City Thunder. Syempre, you have Chet Holmgren. Mamaya natin pag-uusapan si Chet. Okay? Pero if you're talking about the young lineup of OKC, they are good actually. Their record is 2 wins and 1 loss. Their only loss, syempre, kanina against the Denver Nuggets. And then they won back-to-back. They won 2 games, first 2 games of the season. First against the Bulls, tabak pa yun, 22. And the second one is a close fight in which actually it was a comeback from a 9-point deficit under a minute remaining. The Thunder won by 3. O, di ba? So I will say, ito, malaki ang potential ni Chet Holmgren dito kung tutuusin. Pero yun nga, as I've said, that OKC team is more of SGA and Josh Giddey. So I will say, playoffs, inisip ko, hindi. Actually, pwede pa nga play-in eh. Tapos, syempre, pag-usapan natin, play-in. O, di ba? Ngayon, if you're talking about the Portland Trail Blazers, ito, medyo 0-3 sila. Pero medyo, masaguang tignan for the new era of Portland with Scoot Henderson. Kasi Scoot Henderson hasn't been the Scoot Henderson we wanted to see. Mukhang nasa pa siya eh. Kumbaga, baby stage. Kasi nung una niya against the LA Clippers, ang sama ng laro niya. Uminit lang siya sa fourth quarter because garbage time na yon. Panalo Clippers nun. Pero sobrang sama ng laro ni Scoot. Tapos kanina din, yan din, against the Sixers. Ang sama din ng laro ni Scoot diba? Kumbaga is a matter of actually kahit nga against Orlando hindi magandang pinakita niya. I think he scored 11 points. Pero ang pinakamasama pa nga dun for the Blazers is that DeAndre Ayton's domination is not there yet. He averaged 8 points. Ang pinakamagandang ginawa niya ay yung against Orlando in their home court with 14 points and 15 rebounds. Pero wala eh. Wala pa rin eh. Hindi ko nakita yung dominated. Gusto niya mag-domina. Mas okay pa nga si Yusuf Nurkic eh. Kung tutuusin for Phoenix. Diba? So I will say, wala dito mag-playoffs to. Ngayon, injured pa si Anthony Simons. Out siya 4 to 6 weeks. Naku po, delikado. Utah Jazz. Ito namang Utah Jazz, ang masasabi ko, medyo hindi pa ako confident for Utah na magpe-playoff sila because sobrang bata pa ng lineup nila. Ang pinakabatanda mo dyan, the veterans are Colin Sexton, Laurie Markkanen, and Jordan Clarkson. Pero yun nga kasi, nakikita ko, Jordan Clarkson, he has still the problem. Volume shooter pa rin. Pag maswerte siya, maswerte siya. Pag malas siya, malas siya. Hindi katulad ni Laurie Markkanen that he's playing consistently good. Diba? Kumbaga, Utah is more of Laurie's team rather than JC. And I will say for JC, medyo para ka lang naggigilas JC. Kasi yung ginagawa mo, you're still as volume shooter as in. Diba? Parang ewan, diba? Ngayon, how about ito lang yun, the Denver Nuggets. This one, Denver pang number 1. Kasi ang maganda sa Denver, they played harmonious music together. Galing eh. Nandun pa rin yung laro ni Jokic, nandun pa rin yung laro ni Aaron Gordon, ni na Jamal Murray, ni na Michael Porter Jr. Wala nga lang si Bruce Brown, but that team is still the team that is to be reckoned with. Eh, ganun talaga, galing ka ng championship eh. So, it's a matter of talagang momentum is still there for Denver. All I can say for Denver is marami pa akong gusto makita for them. Marami pa. Now, okay. Let's go naman tayo sa Eastern Conference. Sa Eastern Conference, ang isa-summarize ko na lang. Boston lost. Boston is 2-0. Tayo na, syempre. Pero makikita naman kung sino. Detroit is actually 2-1. And actually, I would like to talk about Detroit because Jalen Duren is impressive. So, in 3 games, he had a career high 30 points. I will mataas ang kalibre ko at Jalen Duren. His field goal percentage is good. Mapili siya sa mga tira. Hindi siya nagmamadali or what. But I will say that Jalen Duren is doing fine. Ang kailangan lang, pero if you're asking me, Detroit, playoffs ba to? Hindi. Hindi ko nakikita. Ang kulang nila para sa akin will be a shooting guard. Sana mali ako. Tapos, syempre, you have also Philadelphia, 2-1. Joel Embiid is his useful self kanina against Portland. 35 points, 15 rebounds, 7 assists, and 6 blocks. But I will say na medyo I want to see the dominant Embiid. Kasi parang yun nga, kasi if he wants to win a championship, he needs to win a championship. But the problem there is this. The problem there is, am I seeing na pwede mag-champion to? Ang Sixers? Malabo eh. Malabo sa nakikita ko. Pero sa ngayon, sa dali, meron tayong kasama dito, pero actually, nagpadala naman ako ng baka magsadali lang ito mag-creep. Pero, I will say na, ito kasama ko, subok naman din eh. So, let's have Kuya Ryan there. So, may ginagawa ka dyan, no? Tama ako, no?
Yes, Billy. Magandang gabi sa lahat ng mga ka-Roundball fans. Yes, nandito po ako ngayon sa Smart Araneta Coliseum, as you can see in the background. Ngayon po ang umpisa ng Season 10 ng UNTV Cup at Decade of Sports and Charity. Katatapos ng first game, ang update natin sa ating mga karambol, nanalo po ang DNR Warriors. Final score 89-87 laban sa PNP. Meron pa po tayong second game. Go ahead, Billy. What's your discussion?
Well, kasi we're talking about the Eastern Conference na. Actually, kanina sinabi ko na yung dalawang divisions. The Eastern Conference teams, medyo mga pa to eh. Medyo nasa petics pa to eh. Kasi nasa petics pa sila, pero syempre, we know na nakikita naman natin kung sino may advantage. Una,
Yes.
2-0, pero medyo tikit yung laban na yon because against New York, they won only by 4. Against Miami, they only won by 8 points. Ibig sabihin, may konti pang problema sa depensa nila. And then, syempre, if you're talking about the other teams itself, ano pa yan? Medyo papetics-petics pa yan. If you're talking about Philadelphia, Milwaukee nga, talo nga kanina eh. Against Atlanta by 17 points. Brooklyn, 0-2, pero promising tong team na to because Ben Simmons is now coming back to himself. And
To his
then,
two form.
Cam Thomas is just doing an explosion. Ano masasabi mo for the Eastern teams?
Well, in retrospect, these Eastern teams, especially we have a lot of Eastern Conference teams na nagbago kanilang coaching, lalo-lalo sa Philadelphia. The chemistry will be a question for them. Number one, kung paano magiging coaching style and paano nila ma-manage yung 82 season without any injuries. Are they gonna go all out early or are they gonna pace it themselves? Well, sa mga nakikita ko, lalo-lalo na sa mga losses, yung mga close victories na binanggit mo, I think the Eastern Conference needs to sharpen up their defense because they're giving up a lot of points to their Western Conference. Yes, Western Conference is a much more offensive potent team, but they are very good in defense, especially San Antonio Spurs. Talagang namumutakti sila sa mga Blanca because of that super rookie Victor Wembanyama. But don't count out the Eastern because Eastern Conference, actually, there's one team that is the league leader in steals, and that's Atlanta Hawks. So, ibig sabihin, pagdating sa depensa, sa quick defense, medyo may lamang ang Atlanta. But the question is, can they sustain it for the full 48 minutes? And for the next 79 or 78 games, and mahaba pa po itong regular season, Billy, sa NBA.
Well, kasi if you're talking about the regular season, is that marami pa kasi pwedeng mangyari dyan. Lalo na, syempre, we are at actually tomorrow, maganda yung mga games nila tomorrow actually with the Nets will play the Hornets, the Bulls will go to Indiana, the Celtics will play the Washington Wizards, then Atlanta will host Minnesota, Toronto will play Portland, Dallas will play Memphis, Miami will play against Milwaukee, a rematch. Then the Warriors will play against the Pelicans. Detroit will face Chet and the Thunder. Then Utah will face the Nuggets. And then you have the Magic playing against the Lakers. Pero yun nga, as I've said earlier, medyo nasa relaxation pa yan ng lahat ng teams. Actually, kahit sabihin mo, nagsisimula pa lang ang regular season, hindi mo pa mararamdaman kung sino yung, konti lang ang mararamdaman mo kung sino malalakas. Actually, doon sa West, merong isa. That's Denver. Pero sa East, wala pa yan. Boston, medyo nangangapa pa yan. What do you think?
Well, isa pa titignan natin bukod sa mga lineup yan. Tingnan din natin yung Toronto Raptors. Remember, kagagaling lang sa FIBA World Cup si Dennis Schroeder. So, syempre, nangangapa pa rin yan. But what I like about Dennis Schroeder is that yung kanyang defense because he's now the third leading steals leader sa torneo ito. Is averaging about 2.4 steals a game. So, that will bring to the table the Toronto Raptors na mag-mix up sila ni Fred VanVleet. Para sa ibang mga teams naman like Boston, tama ngayon.
Fred VanVleet is now with Houston. Fred VanVleet is now with Houston.
Ay, wala na pala si Fred VanVleet sa Houston. Si Dennis Schroeder na pala kapalit. But anyway, yun ang kung ano yung nawala kay Fred VanVleet sa nung pagkalisan niya sa Houston, yun naman ang ipinalit kay Dennis Schroeder ng kanyang defense. Now, with regards to other teams, ang nakikita ko pang kailangan mag-improve pa dito sa Orlando Magic kasi medyo yung laro ni Banchero hindi pa natin nakikita. So hopefully, by the coming days, Paolo Banchero will stand up to the game. Now, Billy, I need to cut this off. Ikaw na muna mag-discuss kasi second game magsisimula na in about 5 minutes. So I need to go there. Thank you, Billy, sa invitation. Good luck sa iyong roundball discussion. Good night.
Thank you. Well, kasi if you're talking about the FIBA ba, if you're talking about the yung sa Eastern Conference, medyo wala pa yan. Medyo mararamdaman mo na hindi pa yan yung totoong na pwedeng mangyari. Um, well, alam mo, if you're talking about the Eastern Conference, we're waiting for the chance itself na okay. Okay, sorry for the delay. Well, if you're talking about the Detroit Pistons and the other teams, medyo magre-relax pa yan. Pero nakikita kong 8 teams sa Eastern Conference. Boston is one. Brooklyn, pero number 8. New York, Philadelphia, Milwaukee, Indiana, Cleveland, and Miami. Bakit? Kasi doon sa Indiana, I'm looking forward na gaganda ang laro ni Tyrese Halliburton. At syempre, nandun pa rin si Miles Turner, remember? I will say na medyo malakas pa rin. Malakas pa rin ang team ng ano. So, yun nga, if you will ask me, kaya ba ba? Kaya ba bang manal ano ba ba? Are we saying Indiana will go to the playoffs? I will say yes. Kasi yun yung gusto kong sabihin na pwede nating mangyari if you're talking about the the Eastern team. So yun yung aking 8. Boston, Brooklyn, New York, Philadelphia, Toronto, Miami, Indiana, Cleveland, and Milwaukee pa rin. Now, actually gusto ko pag-usapan ngayon kasi about kay Chet Holmgren and kay Victor Wembanyama. O nga, sa West, sige, ang prediction ko will be Denver, LA Lakers, LA Clippers, Golden State, Sacramento, Phoenix, Minnesota, Memphis. Yan yung yan yung nakikita kong pwedeng mag-playoffs to. If you're talking about the let's now talk about itong isa. We're talking about Chet and Victor. Chet Holmgren and Victor Wembanyama. Actually, let's consider this. Tatlong laro pa lang ang nilalaro ng dalawang batang to na sinasabing alien. Alien, according to LeBron James. Kasalanan mo to, LeBron eh. Pero, you need to take consideration. You need to take consideration of what they are doing. For example, Chet Holmgren. Ito yung statistics niya. First game, 11 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, and a steal. That is his first game against the Bulls. Na ang highlight sa kanya, isang dream shake from a right corner, pumasok yung jump shot niya for his first 2 points. Pero he got posterized and got an ankle breaker by Andre Drummond. Pero, look at the second game that he has. 16 points, 13 rebounds, and a franchise high for rookie. 7 blocks. Ang record ng Oklahoma Seattle ay 6. Yung isa doon, ginawa yun na kayang kakampi na si Alexei Pokusevski. Pero, ito lang masasabi ko dyan. If you're talking about um, Alexei Pokusevski, pero sayang pa yun yung bata eh. I don't know when siya babalik. Pero masasabi ko lang dito, if you're talking about um, the NBA itself, for Chet Holmgren, marami pa siyang pwedeng ilabas. Actually, kanina, para sa akin, medyo pangit yung laro, but he became the leading scorer. He had 19 points and 4 rebounds, but he was totally outmatched by Nikola Jokic. And for me, it's fine. Kasi unang-una, ano ka ba? Let's face it. Kasi isipin na lang natin na that these teams, they're just doing their job very well. Na, yun nga kay Chet Holmgren, at least naka-experience siya ng kanyang growing pains na makaharap si Nikola Jokic. It's okay. 19 points ha, leading scorer pa. Malas pa nga si SGA, who only got 7 points lang. Diba? So, ano dapat ikahiya doon sa ginawa ni Chet? Okay lang yun. Marami pa siyang pwedeng gawin sa loob ng court. 3 games pala, mga iho. Sige, pag-usapan natin. Yung kabila naman, si Victor Wembanyama. Si Victor Wembanyama, ito yung mga numbers niya. First game against Dallas, 15 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 block. But he got 5 fouls. Well, nandun yung gigil ni Victor Wembanyama Expect mo naman yun, bata pa yun Expect mo yun. Pero, the problem there is, actually, maraming gusto pumuna dito sa unang laro ni Victor Wembanyama. Okay, eto sabihin ko. Gusto nyo ikumpara kay LeBron James sa kanyang debut. Yeah, 25 points, 9 rebounds, 6 assists, 4 steals. In his first debut, ngayon, kanina, he came back to the town where he got his debut in Sacramento. They lost pala kanina against the Kings. Same result yun actually from 20 years ago. Pero ito kasi, the only difference for LeBron James and Victor Wembanyama's debut is simple. Saan ba sila naglaro? Okay. Cleveland si LeBron, San Antonio si Wembanyama, di ba? Pero ito yung pagkakaiba. Cleveland noon, they are totally reliant on LeBron James. Because for me, LeBron is Ohio's hero. Diba? Yun The chosen one. Siyempre siya pinag-uusapan ng lahat. Primera klaseng high school player. So that's why, priority siya ng Cleveland. Actually, it happened also kay Luka Doncic. Kasi kay Luka, he is a stud before going into the NBA. Remember, nag-MVP yan sa EuroLeague. Diba? So, hindi problema yun. Para kay LeBron James talaga. Kasi, kay LeBron James kasi, siya talaga ang priority. Parehas lang sila ni Luka noong kanyang rookie season. Pero iba yung kay Wembanyama. San Antonio is not Cleveland. Hindi sila totally reliant na, nandito ka sa San Antonio, kailangan ka namin Kailangan umiscore ka ng maraming puntos The Spurs are not like that. Hindi. Why? Kasi you need to talk about ano pa pwedeng ilabas ng bata. 19 years old. 7'4" ang height. 229 pounds. 8 flat ang kanyang wingspan. Now tell me, sasabihin nyo, Hindi naman yung alien yung ganyang stats eh. Natural. Ano ba pinaglalaro niya? San Antonio, di ba? And San Antonio is not ob-ob. Hindi naman sila TANGA para madaliin ito si Wembanyama. Remember, nag-participate ito si Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. Natulungan ito si Wembanyama. Sabihin natin, hindi ba na-apply yung mga tinuro? Natural. Sa tingin mo, ma-apply mo ba agad yung mga tinuturo? Kasi ang problema lang sa atin, ganito. Sige, putuligsahin ko kayo, pupuksahin ko kayo. Ang problema sa inyo, yung gagawin sana, yung ginagawa ni Chet at ni Victor Wembanyama, yun din ang gusto nyo makita sa bata natin kay Kai Soto. Pero ang problema, hindi. Hindi! Alam mo bakit? 7'3 si Kai. Pero ang ganyang galamay, 7'5. Ang baba pa tumalon. Tapos ang dali niyang itulak. Ang dali niyang i-box out. Si Wemby pa, kaysa sabi mong bayat, he is doing box outs very well. Pero hindi siya kumukuha ng rebound because he doesn't need to get the rebound. He needs to let his teammate get the rebound. Kung mapunta sa kanya yung bola, he will get it. Pero kung hindi mapunta sa kanya yung bola, hindi niya kailangan Actually, same goes to Chet Holmgren. Hindi niya kailangan makipagsapawan sa rebound. All he needs to do is to create space. Remember, iba na ang laro ng NBA ngayon. It's more of spacing. Lalo na if you're talking about boxing out opponents. Sa totoo lang, konti lang sa NBA players ang tumitingin about box out. Yung fundamentals ng box out because they're totally reliant on jumping ability. Yun lang yun eh. Now, if you're talking about those two, mahina ba ang box out nila? Oo, sa ngayon, oo. Pero hindi nila kailangan mag-dominate as of today. Hindi ba? Kasi isipin na lang natin for Victor Wembanyama and Chet Holmgren. Ang dami pa nilang pwedeng gawin sa buhay. Lalo na kay Victor Wembanyama. Sobrang laki ng potensyal lang na binibigay ng Spurs sa kanya. Sobrang laki ng kanyang potensyal. And willing ang San Antonio to do their job just to see how Victor Wembanyama improving himself. Alam niyo kasi, ito lang yun eh. Disrespectful ba yung sinabi ko kay Kai Soto? Ano naman ngayon kung disrespectful yung sinabi ko? Totoo naman yung sinabi ko eh. Kasi, yung gusto nyo asahan kay Kai Soto na ginagawa ni Wemby and Chet, hindi nangyayari for him. Kumbaga, umaasa kayo sa wala. Ngayon, nagagalit kayo kay Victor Wembanyama kasi kay Chet. Dahil alien daw sila, pero hindi naman na. Bakit? Kailangan ba nila patunayan na kailangan maging alien sila? Bakit hindi nyo kayo pagsabihin yung sabi doon? Diba, nagsabi doon ay si LeBron James? Diba? Kumbaga, ako, yung sinasabi ko dati, rookie MVP, wala naman problema eh. Hindi naman ako umaasa doon sa rookie MVP because napakahirap yun. Ako magsasabi. Di ba dati inasahan ko si James Wiseman pero hindi nangyari, di ba? Ngayon, ano nangyari kay James Wiseman sa Detroit? Bangko. Di ba? Instead ng pinaglaro, bangko. Dahil sa ganda na nilalaro ni Jalen Duren. O, di ba? Tapos, isa pa. Yung si Vic and Chet, si Chet, ay isipin mo na lang ay kailangan niyang magpalaki ng konti ng katawan. Siguro 220, 225 will be safe. Si Victor Wembanyama, 229 na siya, 240 will be the safest. Kasi kailangan ng nila tigas. Tigas ng katawan. Yung hindi matulak-tulak. Kasi katulad kanina kay Chet, ang daling itulak ni Jokic. Siyempre, laki ng katawan ni Jokic eh. Para siyang bonjing. Ito si Jokic. Pero the problem is, ano ba maasahan mo kay Vincent Chet? Ora-orada. Eh, tingnan mo naman, actually, maganda pa nga nilalaro ni Chet eh. Si Victor, ano masasabi ko kay Victor? Marami pa tayo pwede makita sa kanya. 3 laro pa lang. Yung regular season, yung preseason, kung nakita nyo, yun pa rin siya. Well, sa preseason, syempre gusto niya ma-experience kung paano maglaro ng NBA game. At syempre, magkaiba yun sa regular season. Di mo na sa regular season, I will tell you, disente pa rin yung laro ni Chet at ni Wemby. Disente pa rin. 3 games pa lang. Pero syempre, maaga pa to say, ako, 10 games. Gusto ko tignan. Gusto ko tignan after 10 games. Kasi syempre, dyan mo malalaman ko daga kung kaya ba? May laban ba? Yun yung sagot ko doon. So, syempre, let's think of it. Let's think of it. Sayang lang kasi if you're talking about ito lang yun eh. Kung iniisip nyo kung makakapasok si Kai Soto sa NBA, hindi. Hindi dahil matanda na siya or what, pwede siya magkapag-NBA. Depende yan. Kung merong magkaka-interest na team sa kanya. Depende yan. Hindi sila basta-basta porket tumatanda na pwede nila kunin yun. No. Hindi sila ganon. You need to consider this na iba talaga ang NBA pagdating sa kanilang pag-develop ng player. Alam mo, ito na lang sabihin ko eh. Sana ginaya na lang ni Kai Soto yung ginagawa ni na Rui Hachimura sa ni Yuta Watanabe. At sila, nagagabayan. Tinatrust nila ang process. Tingnan mo, si Watanabe, naging close friend niya si Kevin Durant. At doon sa kay Rui Hachimura, naging prime player off the bench. 'Di ba ng Lakers? 'Di ba? All I can say is hindi natin dapat okay, ito na lang. Sorry na lang kayo. Chet and Victor are better than Kai Soto. Sorry. Ako kahit Pilipino ako, tatanungin ko sa inyo, nakakabawas ba sa pagiging Pinoy ang magiging prangka? Kung sinabi ko na masakit kay Kai Soto kahit sabihin mong disrespectful? Di ba hindi? Nagsasabi kasi ako ng totoo eh. Yun lang yun. Kaya Victor and Chet doing a great job. Yun lang masasabi ko. So, let's see sa ilang games. Basta ako 10 games. I will look forward to it. So, thank you guys sa panonood. And actually, I hope na meron kayong natutunan if ever. So, syempre, pag-usapan naman natin after 10 games na lang. Okay, guys? So, syempre, kailangan, So, syempre, kailangan So, yun nga. Baka meron kayong other questions at baka siguro wala nagko-komento dito. Pero I will say this na Yun nga, let's wait for 10 games at least. So, with that, thank you very much everyone. And I hope na meron kayong natutunan sa mga sinasabi ko. So, see you one of these days. And this has been the Round Ball. Bye-bye everyone!